Now, I'll say a few things. Y'all can ask, just a couple questions. I don't want to take too long. And of course, there's going to be some things that I can't get into. I can tell you, as far as an extensive search goes, that's going on. I can tell you about the agencies that are involved. I can tell you what we're looking for him for, and that I feel very confident that we're going to get him. But I do want to talk a lot about the partnership and how all these agencies have come together to get this thing, bring this thing to some resolution. So, all right. Y'all know how to spell my name? You need any of that?
You got it.
All right, Sheriff Chip Hughes, Craven County Sheriff. So I appreciate y'all being here today. With me, I've got the Director of the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, Chip Hawley, and Special Agent in Charge, Pat Rayner, with the State Bureau of Investigation. They're up here joining me because they have brought a lot of resources to the table. When something like this happens, us sheriffs, some of the first people we call are the State Bureau of Investigation. And why? Because they have a lot of the resources and manpower that us at a local level do not have. And for what we are tracking and going after Mr. Conley for, it was imperative that we did not leave any stone unturned and that we brought in every resource possible. So I want to thank the Director and Zach Rayner for their time and effort and bringing in the agents. We've probably got about 15 to 20 agents on the ground here with the Bureau, and they bring a lot of technology with them that, once again, we don't have at the local level. So it's important as we track this dangerous criminal. We have an open count of murder on Mr. Conley. He also assaulted one of my deputies last night with a knife, sent him to the hospital. My deputy has been released, which is most important, and he will be fine. He's going to make a speedy recovery. But I say all that because this is a dangerous person. And the people of Vanceboro and Craven County need to know that we are doing everything. I have state wildlife in addition to the State Bureau of Investigation, the State Highway Patrol, Vanceboro Police Department, the sheriff's offices from Eastern North Carolina have showed up with all sorts of resources. North Carolina State Alcohol Law Enforcement has sent an agent over here to help us as well. So that's boots on the ground, and not to mention the men and women of my office that have been working around the clock since this happened to track Mr. Conley down. We're getting a lot of good leads. A lot of these leads come in from tips from the people in this county and surrounding counties. I want people to continue to call us. If they see something that's suspicious, I want them to call 911 immediately so we can do what we do. We have gotten many, many tips. Some of them have not been credible. Some of them have been, however. So we're going to continue to follow those. I will meet with y'all on a regular basis to bring you up to date, but right now there's really no new news other than we have this area saturated. This is going to continue until we capture Mr. Conley. And I will tell you, we're hot on his heels. We're keeping him running, but it's very important to understand this is a dangerous person. So therefore, all of the resources that we have are going to be going after him. This is #1 priority for my office and the agencies that you see here. So we will continue to go after him diligently, and we will apprehend him, and the people of this county will no longer have to worry about this man getting out and harming anybody. But he is a dangerous person. So with that said, I'll take a few questions.
I know a couple of schools in this area decided not to go to school today. Do you expect that to continue tomorrow, or are you advising them to do that?
Well, I can tell you last night around 1 o'clock, when we did not have him in custody, it was my recommendation to the school system that the schools in this area were closed down. Now, I don't run the school system. We provide our school resource officers to each of the schools. But as the sheriff, it was my recommendation that in the best interest of the educators and our children, that these schools were not open today. One, so we could focus on finding this individual, and two, that these kids wouldn't potentially be put in harm's way. Now, if that will continue, I don't know. It's going to be my recommendation that the schools in this area do not open until we get this individual in custody. Maybe not so as much on the eastern part of the county or the surrounding counties, but in this immediate area where we feel like he is, yeah, it's my recommendations that they stay closed.
After spending the last 12 to 24 hours on the run, do we know what kind of condition Conley is in?
Well, no, because we hadn't put eyes on him since then. It's hard to say. I can just tell you, he is leaving a trail of evidence where he goes, so that does help us. And you will continue to see air support here as well. Wildlife brought in a fixed-wing aircraft. The Bureau also has an aircraft that's running another mission right now, but they'll be joining us if needed at a later time. We had a private individual who has a helicopter, put one of my deputies up in the air, and we flew around for a number of hours looking for him. And that gives us, another view of what's going on, and sometimes it pushes people to make stupid mistakes. And that's what our hope is. He will continue to make these mistakes, and we're going to be right on him.
Do you have any message for Conley?
Yeah, the best thing he can do is turn himself in immediately so we can have a peaceful resolution. But make no mistake about it, he is a dangerous man, and we are not going to take any chances.
What are some of the resources that the SBI has been able to provide to you on more of a specific level?
Yeah, Pat, would you like to talk a little bit about some of the resources y'all have? Or?
Of course, we bring manpower. We bring a lot of technical resources, social media experts, intel analysts, just digging in his past and present, just looking at his way of life, just tracking him day to day from now backwards is what we're trying to do, and just try to help him. And of course, we have boots on the ground agents as well as our fixed wing aircraft.
And a lot of things that they do is very labor intensive. When you're talking about analyzing devices and just crunching data and stuff like that, they have subject matter experts that do nothing but that. So at the local level, all of my investigators do a little bit of everything. They have specific subject matter experts that they can bring in to deal with certain types of technology, and that is a huge benefit to us. So very thankful for that.
How has the rain the last few days impacted the search today?
Really, it hasn't caused us any problem. I hope it's making his life miserable.
And my last question, he used a knife to stab your deputy. Does he still have the knife, or does he have any other weapons as far as you know?
I do not know. I am going to assume that he is armed, and he is definitely dangerous. So yes, he did use a knife on my deputy and has used a knife in other crimes. But whether or not he has one right now, if I had to bet, I would say yes, given historical data.
We heard some scanner traffic earlier on in the day about him potentially being able to have a vehicle. Could you confirm or not whether or not he has a vehicle, or is he still on foot that you may know?
We have had him on a bike. We have had him in a vehicle. The vehicle that he was in at one time, we now have, as well as one of the bikes that he was utilizing. But it's not just, this guy is a criminal. So I would not put it beyond him to steal another vehicle, another bike, and do things like this. So when he slips up, it's our job to be there, and we fully intend to. And like I can tell you, we are hot on his trail.
Sorry, you mentioned that he's used a knife in other crimes. Do you know his criminal history at all?
Right offhand, I don't know. He does have a criminal history. I don't know the extent of it, and don't know if weapons were involved in previous crimes that he's committed. So.
Lastly, for me, tomorrow's Halloween. A lot of people dressed up in costumes, things of that nature. Are you concerned about him maybe trying to blend in with the public if they are going out, things of that nature?
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah, absolutely, I'm concerned. That that would be an opportunity for him to try to blend in, possibly hurt someone else. Once again, I've spoken to the authorities here in Vanceboro, and my recommendation is to lay low tomorrow night. It's very unfortunate that this criminal has brought this to this community, but we're going to deal with it. I can tell you there's going to be a heavy law enforcement presence during Halloween, as there is with every Halloween. But we're going to have extra deputies and extra law enforcement officers out throughout the county, a heavy presence here in Vanceboro because we still believe he is in this area. So the people will be safe, but they do need to be very vigilant. And once again, there's no such thing as an insignificant tip. If you feel like it's something that needs to be reported, call us immediately, 911. So that's my message to the people. I don't want them to feel so fearful that they can't get out and live a normal life. but they do need to understand he is dangerous. But we're going to do what we've got to do to bring him to justice. Good?
Yep.
Nothing out of you, man?
No, news director was texting me the whole time, so
Right.
I couldn't think of any questions. But
Yeah.
I did have one more question.
Yes,
if you're
sir.
free to answer. Have you had any communication with this family at all?
Yes.
And are they cooperating? Are they helping at all?
I feel like they are. Yeah. Yep.
That's all for me.
I think that's all for us.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
again.
Sorry, Steven, I didn't mean to hit you.
I hate you. It's annoying too.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Yep.